Leonardo DiCaprio isn't just an actor, he's practically an institution. Since Titanic launched him into global superstardom, Leo has been Hollywood's go-to guy for intense roles, environmental speeches, and the occasional meme about dating women who mysteriously never make it past 25. But behind the Oscars, yachts, and smoldering movie stars, DiCaprio's real-life story is laced with scandals, strange friendships, and some eyebrow-raising contradictions. Buckle up. We're about to tour Leo's less-than-glamorous side, complete with secret Hollywood clubs, embezzled paintings, and a private jet or 2, or 10, the club that must not be named. Let's rewind to the 1990s, back when frosted tips and boy bands were still cool. At that time, Leo and his buddies created a little group with a name so unprintable that any modern PR person would faint on the spot. For our purposes, let's just say the name rhymes with Kitty Posse. The lineup? A strange Avengers-like squad of young Hollywood, DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, Lucas Haas, Kevin Connolly, David Blaine, and Harmony Korine. Together, they allegedly turned Los Angeles into a frat house playground. Their antics were so legendary that they accidentally immortalized themselves in a small indie flick called Don's Plum. The film, shot before Leo and Tobey were household names, reportedly captured so much of their less-than-chivalrous behavior that the two stars spent years and millions fighting to keep it out of US theaters. The result? The movie could only be released overseas, with scenes chopped out. Imagine being so embarrassed by your younger self that you pay $10 million to make sure no one sees it. Most of us just delete old Facebook photos. A dating pattern that launched 1,000 memes. When it comes to his dating life, DiCaprio has a type, and by type, we mean women who just figured out how to rent a car without extra fees. For decades, Leo's girlfriends have all been models or actresses under 25. Internet sleuths even made a graph mapping his dating history, showing that while Leo ages gracefully into his 40s and 50s, his girlfriends remain firmly planted in the early 20s demographic. The internet dubbed it Leo's Law, a tongue-in-cheek observation that gained meme status worldwide. While defenders shrug it off as a celebrity quirk, critics point out it's more like the plot of Dazed and Confused, where the older guy proudly admits, "I get older, they stay the same age." And just when everyone thought maybe Leo would break the cycle, reports in 2025 revealed his current girlfriend is, drumroll, 27. Progress? Slightly. The environmentalist who loves private jets. DiCaprio has positioned himself as one of Hollywood's loudest voices on climate change. He narrates documentaries, donates to conservation, and gives passionate speeches about saving the planet. Yet, critics say his personal lifestyle makes Greta Thunberg break out in hives. The trouble started in 2016, when he flew a private jet from Cannes to New York, just to accept an environmental award. Then, within 24 hours, he jetted right back to Cannes. Another time, he took a private jet to travel less than 10 miles for a gala. Yes, less than 10 miles. Apparently walking or calling an Uber wasn't glamorous enough. And then there are the yachts. DiCaprio's vacations often involve enormous super yachts, the kind that guzzle more fuel in a week than a small town uses in a year. At one point, he even used a helicopter to leave his yacht just to have dinner on shore. Saving the Earth? Maybe tomorrow, tonight, there's a seafood risotto reservation. The Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, noble or not. In 1998, Leo founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to support conservation and environmental causes. Great idea, right? But by 2008, the foundation had been folded into something called a donor-advised fund, which conveniently made its finances nearly impossible to track. In 2016, things got messier. The Department of Justice accused DiCaprio's foundation of being linked to the 1MDB scandal, a massive embezzlement scheme out of Malaysia. Billions were siphoned from a sovereign wealth fund meant for national development, and some of it allegedly ended up financing Leo's projects and galas. While he was identified as Hollywood Actor 1 in legal documents, he was never charged. Still, it's not a great look when your climate change gala is bankrolled by oil money. The J-Lo connection? Enter J-Lo, a Malaysian financier with more money and shady deals than sense. Known for throwing absurdly expensive parties, Lo reportedly spent $85 million on bashes in less than a year. That's not a typo. Leo wasn't just a guest, he was on the payroll. Reports say Lo paid him $250,000 to attend a few parties, including an $11 million gambling spree in Las Vegas. As party favors, Lo gifted DiCaprio priceless artworks, a Basquiat, a Picasso, and even Marlon Brando's Oscar. Imagine being rich enough to use Brando's Academy Award as a stocking stuffer. Eventually, Leo had to surrender the gifts to the government when investigators came knocking. To top it off, Lo helped bankroll The Wolf of Wall Street, the very film that glamorizes financial corruption. Irony so rich, it could buy its own yacht. Other shady friendships. J-Lo wasn't Leo's only questionable pal. Take Dana Giacchetto, a financier who became Leo's big brother figure in the 90s. Unfortunately, Giacchetto was also convicted of fraud, costing his clients millions. That didn't stop Leo from skipping the 1998 Oscars, where Titanic swept nearly everything, to party with him. Priorities, right? Then there's art dealer Heli Namad, another member of Leo's inner circle, who was busted in a high-stakes gambling and money laundering case. He spent time in prison before being pardoned by none other than Donald Trump. Despite that, Leo was seen boarding a jet with him in 2023. Some friendships age like fine wine, others age like spoiled milk. And let's not forget Sean Diddy Combs. After Diddy's legal troubles involving sex trafficking and racketeering hit headlines, old photos resurfaced of him and DiCaprio hanging out at Diddy's infamous white parties. While there's no evidence Leo participated in anything illegal, the proximity was enough to make people raise their eyebrows higher than Leo's inception paycheck. Bezos, billionaires, and hypocrisy? Even in recent years, DiCaprio has found himself mingling with the world's most controversial elite. Case in point, his attendance at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's lavish 2025 wedding. The three-day event cost around $20 million, a casual pocket change for Bezos. Considering Amazon's reputation as one of the world's biggest polluters, you'd think an eco-warrior like Leo would avoid being seen clinking champagne glasses with Mr. Prime shipping. But apparently, climate activism takes a back seat when there's caviar and a celebrity guest list. Where are the movies? One of the reasons all this scrutiny has intensified? Leo just isn't on screen as much anymore. Since 2016, he's only appeared in a handful of films. Fans want more performances, not just paparazzi shots of him on yachts. And when he does show up for work, he reportedly demands between $20 to $30 million per role. That's blockbuster money, even for someone of his caliber. He even turned down $3 million for a single day's cameo in a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel. For most of us, that's never work again money. For Leo, it wasn't worth getting out of bed. Currently, he's teaming up with director Paul Thomas Anderson on a new project. Whether that will earn him back some goodwill or just more jokes about his girlfriends remains to be seen. The contradictory king of Hollywood. So, what do we make of Leonardo DiCaprio? On one hand, he's undeniably talented, capable of carrying films like The Revenant and The Wolf of Wall Street with Oscar-worthy performances. He raises awareness for climate change, funds conservation projects, and has used his fame to push global conversations forward. On the other hand, his private life reads like a script for Entourage, minus the laugh track. From shady friends to questionable donations, from yachts that could single-handedly melt the polar ice caps to an infamous dating record, DiCaprio embodies contradiction. Maybe that's why we can't look away. He's Hollywood royalty, but one who reminds us that fame doesn't come with a moral compass. For every heartfelt speech about saving the world, there's a helicopter ride from a yacht to a restaurant. For every brilliant movie, there's another tabloid headline about Leo's Law. At the end of the day, perhaps DiCaprio is the ultimate product of his environment, a superstar who reflects both the best and the worst of celebrity culture. He may talk about saving the earth, but he also knows how to party like there's no tomorrow. which, ironically, might just be the problem. And that, my friends, is the roller coaster life of Leonardo DiCaprio. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the good, the bad, and the yacht-sized contradictions of Mr. DiCaprio, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. Until then, stay entertained, stay skeptical, and maybe take the train instead of the private jet. Catch you next time.